The head of Hezbollah has accused Israel of assassinating former Lebanese Premier Rafiq Hariri.
Reasons to accuse. I have information. My accusations will be based on evidence and information. And so I say to you today that we accuse the Israeli enemy of assassinating former Lebanese Premier Rafiq Hariri on the 14th of February 2005.
Nasrallah says he will unveil sensitive information about the killing at a press conference on Monday. In other remarks, he warned that the possibility of Israel waging a war on Lebanon always exists. This because of what he called Tel Aviv's hostile nature. In response, he called on all Lebanese to be cautious and ready. He added that the only thing that can defend Lebanon from Israeli aggression is unity. From Beirut, I'm going to bring in our own correspondent, Ali Rizk, to tell us about the latest development there. Ali, very strong statements from the Hezbollah leader. He seemed very confident when he accused Israel of being behind Rafiq Hariri's assassination, didn't he?
Yes, he did, and he also did say that the resistance actually had been pursuing efforts, that a kind of committee was put together by the resistance to look into possible Israeli involvement, and that this committee had continued for months to look into this possibility and had come up with clear, concrete evidence. And he described the efforts of this committee as being one of the most important operations in the history of the resistance. Now, he used the word operations. Operations, of course, is usually referred to military operations, for example, a military success against Israel, meaning what he'll unveil in the press conference next week will be just like a military victory for the resistance, meaning it will be a severe blow for Israel, meaning the evidence which Hezbollah will unveil will represent a severe blow to Israel, similar to a possible military blow. Of course, could be compared to the same damage done by a military blow to Israel. Of course, he did say that Israel was the one who came up with these accusations about a possible indictment against Hezbollah in the involvement of in the assassination of former Lebanese Premier Rafiq Hariri. He referred to Ashkenazi, and he spoke about the aims which Israel, or the gains which Israel could get by indicting or by pointing out to Hezbollah involvement, for example, and this is very well known, an internal conflict between Sunni and Shia, meaning the Sunni supporters of Hariri with the Shia supporters of Hezbollah. But the way he described it as being a very, very important operation, the efforts of his committee point out to the magnitude and I think the clarity of the evidence which he will represent. I think that what he tried to say is that the evidence which he will provide on Monday will be undisputable and will leave no doubt that Israel was involved in the assassination of the former Lebanese Premier Rafiq Hariri. So that is a press conference which we highly anticipate, which everyone here in Lebanon will anticipate, and it was also a message given to some internally here in Lebanon, some people who accused Hezbollah of actually saying that the International Tribunal was an Israeli project aimed at creating internal strife in Lebanon, because some people here in Lebanon expressed their dismay about what Hezbollah said when Hezbollah, for example, criticized the International Tribunal for not looking about the possibility or for not looking for the possibility of Israeli involvement in the Hariri assassination. So what he said was a message to Israel itself, and was also a message internally to those people here in Lebanon who dispute with Hezbollah and who criticize Hezbollah for actually accusing the tribunal of not behaving in a professional manner by not looking at the possible Israeli involvement in this assassination. Of course, other important points which he made, or another other big point which he made, was the fact that Hezbollah would not lay down in case the Lebanese army was attacked in the future. Of course, we all heard what happened today, 3 martyrs from the Lebanese army. He did say in the next time Hezbollah will not stand aside. He did say this time Hezbollah was in contact with the Lebanese army but did not act. He promised the next time that Hezbollah would act, which I think opens a new era. Today, what Sayyid Hassan said today opens a new era of partnership. He did say the Lebanese resistance completes the Lebanese army, and Lebanese army completes the Lebanese resistance. So I think a new era we have now in South Lebanon regarding the Lebanese army and resistance. And what he said today could deter the Israelis from actually acting against the Lebanese army in the future, because now the Israelis must think about what the resistance's response will be, not just what the Lebanese army's response will be in case any future skirmishes or scuffles happen.
Okay, Ali, what reactions do we expect at this point in time? We have about a minute for that. Ali, please be brief.
Reactions to what are you referring to exactly?
Reactions from the officials both in Lebanon and in Israel, of course.
Reactions regarding the International Tribunal, of course, are very well known. About the International Tribunal, many people are awaiting what Hezbollah will say. Until now, the Israelis have not made any actual comment on what Sayyid Hassan said. Now, regarding the skirmishes or the scuffles which happened today between the Lebanese army and the Israeli army, both sides have said that they intend to file a complaint to the UN Security Council. Avigdor Lieberman, the Israeli foreign minister, actually said that Israel will go ahead and file a complaint, and Sayyid Hassan did say Israel actually went ahead and filed a complaint. We do expect that the Lebanese side will file a complaint as well after 3 Lebanese soldiers fell today, and Sayyid Hassan also did call on this and called also on the Lebanese government to take other measures regarding what he called continued Israeli assault, such as the violations which happened today, such as daily air violations, and even the espionage and the cluster bombs which have been left over ever since the July 2006 war. So Sayyid Hassan did raise his voice towards the government to take more measures and to shed more light on these violations, whether they be spying activity or any other violations, to shed more light on them, especially as Lebanon is now a non-permanent member in the Security Council.
Sure. Ali Rizk, our correspondent.